I do believe 100% a reset is coming. A reset is coming. So as we go through this, just keep that in mind. Don't look at things from every side. We've learned nothing over the last 4 years, much of which was a lie.
The signs are everywhere. Central banks, politicians, and financial insiders all pointing toward a massive shift. Andy Schectman has laid out the facts, but the real question is, are you prepared? If gold revaluation happens, it could change the financial system overnight. What do you think? Will gold be the solution to the debt crisis? Let us know in the comments and stay tuned, because what's coming next could change everything.
So have we fallen into a debt trap? I mean, how big is it, right? Everyone says $36 trillion. Trillion seconds ago was 31,688 years ago. You had Neanderthals stalking the plains of Europe 1 trillion seconds ago, which we're now creating $1 trillion in debt every 100 days. But that doesn't take into account Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and government and military pensions. Medicare Part B is $99 trillion underfunded. No one ever talks about that. Part D, the prescription's 22. Social Security, 77. We're $200 trillion in debt. 200 or more. And so when we talk about this last paragraph there, this typically happens when the debtor is only able to pay the interest on the loan and not the principal. The Congressional Budget Office, which is a nonpartisan think tank in Washington, says by 2031, all of the income tax revenue will go just to pay the interest on the debt and the mandatory entitlements, all of which are off balance sheet. So think about this. How does the United States remain the military superpower when military spending is discretional? You got to borrow that, right? So think about what I said. Is there a reset coming? What is President Trump known for in the private world, right? Restructuring, bankruptcy, fixing companies that need to be run through restructuring. Could it be that Francis Hunt was right, that he was selected? That the last 4 years of bizarro world was thrown at us along with the lame duck challenger so that he would be thrown into office by everyone wanting our culture back, bringing in a cabinet who is highly tech, and bring in the surveillance state, ID 2020. You guys ever check out ID 2020? You should. See who's got the patents on it, right? You got the Rockefeller Foundation, you got Bill Gates, and then you got Gavi, G-A-V-I. Gavi is the vaccine company. Now, what did Trump just say? Digital ID is coming for election integrity. Is he the Trojan horse, or is he riding on the Trojan horse? I'll leave that up to you. I am not making this distinction, but if you don't question everything, none of you learned a damn thing over the last 4 years, period. That's just my point. All right. My mentor, Richard Russell, used to say 20 years ago, the Fed has but two choices, inflate or default, right? Inflation, which is the path that we've always chosen, inflate away our debt, or just simply default. Is that really what we're going to do? I would argue inflation is the path that they have chosen, 100%. It is the path that they have chosen, but what if there is another path, right? I just want to think out loud here. Could there be a way to inflate the currency and make it less painful than outright hyperinflation created by the Federal Reserve? I don't know. How about this one? Gold revaluation. Now, you can't make this up. Every central bank balance sheet on the planet Earth, guess what the name of the account is where they hold gold? Guess. Yes, you got it. The gold revaluation account. That is the name of it. It's held in the gold revaluation account. You have the head of the Dutch National Bank that has been screaming about this for a very long time. Revalue the gold. It's at $35 an ounce on our balance sheet. We cannot, under current laws, offset our liabilities with our gold holdings. And so what if we were to revalue gold to current numbers or even revalue it higher? You have a member of the Bundesbank saying the same thing, and it gets closer to home when we look at Senator Cynthia Lummis from Wyoming, who spoke right after President Trump did, the Bitcoin meeting in Tennessee, who advocated for the strategic Bitcoin reserve, she came up and said, let's revalue the gold held by the Federal Reserve on behalf of the Treasury to a number high enough to use some of the proceeds to pay for the Bitcoin. Or how about Judy Shelton, who I just interviewed? Judy Shelton says to me, Andy, we're going to issue 50-year Treasuries redeemable in gold. And we talked about it, she said to me, in Trump's last administration. She was his nominee for the head of the Federal Reserve, who wasn't confirmed, but she'll probably be on the Board of Governors this year. She wants to have 50-year treasuries pegged to gold. She said to me, Andy, I believe he will issue them on July 4th, 2026, which is the 250th year anniversary of the country. And I said, Judy, why haven't they audited the gold held at Fort Knox of the New York Fed? She says, well, it's a lame answer. They say it costs too much money. It's logistically challenged. But that's a bunch of crap, she says. We're the United States of America, for God's sakes. Let's just spend a few $1,000,000 and get it done. I said, damn right, Judy, let's do that. I couldn't agree more. I said, Judy, are they going to revalue the price of gold? Because it is held in the revaluation account. And she, with tremendous articulation and lots of big words, more or less said yes, it would be in the vested interest of all the central banks to revalue gold, because after all, the most powerful bank on the planet, first and foremost, reclassified gold as a Tier 1 asset. So the Bank of International Settlements does not do things just for the hell of it. Let's get that first and foremost deep in our brain. It's the most powerful bank on the planet. Why wouldn't they make Bitcoin a Tier 1 asset, or SDR, special drawing rights, or something other than gold? Why would the most powerful bank in the world say, by the way, y'all, gold is now a Tier 1 reserve asset, on par with U.S. Treasuries and U.S. dollars? Why not? Because there's something in store for it. That I do believe 100%. And when you see the amount of gold the central banks are buying, it's off the charts. In the month of October and in November, the central banks doubled their 12-month moving average. But they've already been buying more over the last 4 years than anyone has ever seen. But the second part, all these countries, Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Argentina, I can keep going, you can see it for yourself. Every single one of those countries have repatriated their gold from the Bank of England and the New York Fed.
What do you think? Will gold be the solution to the debt crisis? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next big update. Stay ahead, because the game is changing fast.